All right. I've seen the comments. I was apparently wrong about the Halo Needler replica from NERF Limited. It's the best blaster ever. To put my money where my mouth is, I literally bought one. And to make myself slightly more angry, I bought this thing November 23rd off Amazon for $100. And by November 24th, it was $70. Ouch. This video is sponsored by the Ridge Wallet. When was the last time you thought about your wallet and what you carry? If it's anything like my old wallet, it's tired and ready for retirement. But we're living in the future, and luckily wallet technology has vastly improved. The Ridge Wallet is your ultimate minimalist solution to carrying various cards and bills in a slim, sleek fashion. This carbon fiber forged ember design is just one of 30 different available. The Ridge Wallet has over 50,000 5-star reviews, and the Ridge team is so confident that you'll love their product, they'll give you up to 99 days to run it, and if you don't like it, send it back for a full refund. The Ridge Wallet holds up to 12 cards, can carry cash with a clip or strap, and is so slim and lightweight, it's like there's nothing there at all. The Ridge key case holds anywhere from 2 to 6 keys and has completely changed my pocket situation. No longer do I have a long lanyard that can get caught on stuff or a jingling keyring in my pocket just to start my car. I just clip the key case to my jeans pocket and now I have more inventory space. Using my link ridge.com/Walcom in the description below, you can pick up your own The Ridge Wallet key case or combo and get their best offer yet with up to 40% off until December 22nd, just in time for the holidays. But that's only when you use my link ridge.com/Walcom. And thanks to Ridge for sponsoring this video. And this is the NERF Limited Halo Needler box. Pretty good, but it's what's in the box that counts. So let's lay those biases out on the counter right now. I'm obviously a NERF fan. I have played a lot of Halo 1, 2, and 3 growing up. However, I jumped off the bandwagon after that. Did play a little bit of the Halo Infinity, but I don't really like Halo anymore. I'm not a big fan of the shooty punch mechanic. It's not very fun to me. In fact, it's incredibly frustrating, just like knifing was in Call of Duty up until they removed it for being an insta-kill. And money shot. You're seeing this before I'm seeing this. It's actually kind of an impressive size. I was expecting it to be much smaller than that. I wonder how many times things I say in videos can be completely taken out of context. Here's the display stand. It's transparent. It's a little flexible. It says Needler on it. NERF Limited logo. There's like 30 codes in here. I guess some of them are for different territories and stuff like that. I'm sure if this game ever takes off again, I'll be selling those on eBay. Instructions, pink darts, I'm a big fan of that. Things for the display stand, and I think every single one of these blasters, especially for the $100 price tag, should come with a display stand. It should just be included all of the time. And the Needler itself. Now, for those of you keeping track at home, this blaster is functionally identical to this blaster, at least in terms of how it fires and performance and whatnot. And this one is also completely identical to this one right here. So you're paying a premium for the look of the blaster. And one of my needles is already kind of bent, but they are a very, very spongy material. It could take your eye out if you really wanted it to. But they're soft, they're rubbery, they're not gonna hurt your skin or anything like that. The grip itself is, for my tiny hands, actually really comfortable. I can get behind this. It's not meant to be a humanoid grip. In fact, the Needler is a Covenant weapon, but my small hands win once again. This is actually functional and usable to me. And your turret up front, which you can open that up. It's just a little plastic indent clip, and you've got your cylinder right here. This is a fully automatic NERF blaster. And no, the other side does not open up. It doesn't have that metallic sheen or anything that you would expect to get from a Covenant weapon. 2 screws on the bottom plate here act as the battery cover. And interesting enough, I thought this thing took C batteries, but it does take 6 AA batteries. And the cool thing about the Needler needles is that they stick to the target and explode. So the more of them that hit the target, the bigger the boom. But it does have a little bit of a delay, which means a lot of the time you can end up trading with your opponent when the needles will explode after you've already expired. Better fun fact, in Halo 2, you could dual wield the Needler, and they were affectionately known as the pretty pink pom-poms of death. It does come with 10 fluorescent pink NERF Elite darts, the same darts you know and love, and that's the exact amount the blaster holds, 10 shots in the front rotating cylinder. I might have to turn off the studio lighting here, but it is on and it's glowing and it's pretty nice looking. It's even got a little bit of a breathing effect, which is a nice touch. I love LEDs. I love LEDs when they're really good, and this is a really good LED effect. You got the little bit back here, of course, the needles on the top of the blaster, and the turret up front, making good use of that clear pink plastic. All 10 darts are loaded. We can close that piece right there, and we are ready to go. It is single trigger operation. because this is a full auto Springer blaster, again, much like the Speedswarm or the Power Bell. Well, she's got some pop to her. In fact, it feels like more pop than you typically get with a Nerf blaster. We'll have the chronograph readings shortly. But that rate of fire, that is very, very slow, much like you would expect from something that's a copy of a Power Bell or a Speedswarm. So the blaster has two modes. You switch it to mode 1, and it works how it's supposed to. When you touch the blaster, this part right here being a touch sensor, the blaster illuminates and it's ready to go. Something you may have noticed, which could have been a little difficult because of the studio lighting, is as it fired, these needles actually stopped glowing, and you're supposed to reset that by opening up this and closing it to have all the needles light back up again. And then as it fires, the needles stop glowing again. And same thing, open that up, close it, and they light back up. There's also a transparent piece back here that's supposed to work kind of like an ammo counter, at least in the game, but it does not function like an ammo counter in real life. It's just a lit up piece of plastic. The second lighting mode on the Needler is actually display mode. This is meant to be placed on the stand and displayed with all the lighting effects on to give it a kind of night light appeal. However, this mode will only last for 2 hours, presumably to save battery life, until it shuts off. In this mode, the trigger does not function. All right, have I held off long enough? Are all the Halo fanboys gone? I'm sure they're already leaving me angry comments down in the comment section, but was I wrong about the Halo Needler? Well, sure, why not? I was wrong. It's a great prop-ish. It lights up, and it has the shape of the Needler. It needs way more paint and stuff like that, but now I'm complaining because it only costs $100. But here's the thing. I'm obviously not a Halo fan, and I'm gonna judge this thing like it's a Nerf blaster because it was sold as a Nerf blaster. Here are today prices for the Speedswarm. Here's today prices for the Power Bell. And then here's the Needler. They are the same blasters. It does hit your NERF Elite standard or whatever you want to call it. It has a little bit of a pop to it. It's nearly impossible to aim, but that's kind of by design. And I doubt anybody who's gonna buy this thing is actually going to want to use it like a Nerf blaster for more than just shooting it around their bedroom. So in that case, why do you care if I think it's a bad value for the money if you're not into Halo? It's actually funny, I have two major problems with this as a prop or display piece, and then again as a blaster. The rate of fire is exceptionally low as a functional dart blaster. It should shoot faster because that's what the one in the video game does. It's a full auto thing and it goes pew pew and it's really cool. Am I saying I'm mad because these things don't shoot needles at home through the air and stick to a target and eventually explode? No, but its rate of fire is stupid slow, and of course it only has a 10-round capacity. Now when it came to the subject of elite darts, I originally said I didn't like that. I wish it shot something else that would give it more true to the in-game rate of fire and of course capacity. Nerf Rival, Nerf Hyper, something like that would have been really cool. Make this thing a Perseus for crying out loud, and I think it would have been a really compelling blaster, but then it's not shooting the needles, and it's the Needler, it needs to shoot the needles, and the elite darts look like needles, so what the heck do I know? Actually, I want to make this argument a little bit clearer, because is it really more important for it to shoot the things that look like needles, or is it more important for it to function and act like the one from the video game? And I would argue it is way more important for it to have a similar capacity and rate of fire to the one in the game. But for some reason, I'm alone in this fact, and everybody doesn't matter if it was a single shot spring or if it shot standard NERF Elite darts, which to me, I think is a huge missed opportunity. The other thing is that, like, as a display piece, you switch it in display mode, you put it on the thing, and it sets up for 2 hours and then shuts off. And that's kind of dumb, and I feel like the rate of fire, at least, and this problem with it turning off after 2 hours on display could be fixed if they would have switched it to a different type of battery. Again, much like the Nerf rival Percy's. If they took like the tech that they had in the Nerf Gelfire Mythic with the USB-C rechargeable LiPo battery and slapped that in this thing and had a little USB port on the back side of it that you could plug a USB cord into, put this thing on display mode and have it glow indefinitely. And then of course, also having a better power source so this thing could fire faster, that would be awesome. And for $100, I would kind of expect that. Hey, look at me, doing this gag twice in one video. I vaguely remember a blaster that had light up sound effects that were cool, that even had a motor actuating gimmick and was basically a reshell of the Percy's without the rechargeable battery. And that's the Soldier 76 blaster from Overwatch, which wasn't even a limited release. It was a standard thing that you could find on store shelves. In fact, if you want one right now, they're on Amazon and Walmart.com for $40 or less. But this thing is a limited release that... Am I crazy? Am I taking crazy pills? So judging it as an actual Nerf blaster, it's really expensive for what you get, but is it completely worthless if you're a Halo fan? No. I would make the argument that this thing looks fantastic. Is it true to one-to-one in-game? Yeah, kinda. I mean, it's fine in the hand, at least in my hands, and it does kind of function like the one in game. I really wish that it had at least the reload sound for the Needler, and then of course the pew pew that it does, because that would have been awesome. But apparently you can't have both lights and sounds from Hasbro that are good. It's just not a thing they do, apparently. But everybody who's gonna be watching this video doesn't really care. I mean, if you paid the $70 for this thing over Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I think it would be a pretty compelling purchase. $100, I feel like that's a bit overpriced. I'm also curious why this had to be a Nerf limited release, because every other thing in the Nerf Halo line hasn't been a limited release. Oh, hey, look at that. They already made a Nerf Halo Needler that was still way too expensive because, of course, micro shots are $10. But I think if you found this under the tree for the holidays, you wouldn't be that upset. But fanboys are gonna fanboy, and I've already seen countless comments of people telling me I was wrong about this thing before I even got my hands on it. If you missed out on the Halo Needler and you're a Halo fan, I'm really sorry. Missed out on the Halo Needler because you're a Nerf fan, you didn't really miss all that much. If I had to give it like a numerical value or something on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it like a 6.5. I think it's a pretty good looking blaster, and there's no way you would see this and not mistake it for the Halo Needler, but when it comes to being like an accurate prop, it needs a lot of paint and stuff to look like that. It could make the sounds, especially in the display mode, it could just have the full auto sound effect of the Needler. But overall, it looks the part, but then again, it's meant to be like a display piece. It's meant to be a whole lot of other things than what it actually is, one of which is a Nerf blaster, and for that, it's pretty poor. But I already laid my bias out on the table, so you should know what to expect when it comes to my opinion on this. Now, if this did subvert my expectations and go against my bias, that would be something notable, but it is identical to what I thought it was going to be from the video we saw about a year ago from Hasbro themselves. However, if this was the baseline for all Nerf Limited going forward, I would be pretty happy with that, because there is something kind of special here. But that's all I've got for you. I'm Walcom S7. Thank you very much for watching this video. Chances are you got to the end, you like what I do here, so please hit like, get subscribed, ring the bell, leave a comment, do all that algorithmic garbage to help our channel grow, so you can help our hobby grow. And of course, I hope to see you in an entirely different video.